welcome to this week's edition of Pick'em, where we take a look at this week's prep football games. We're going to start it off with Big Rapids at home against Morley Stanwood. Both of these teams coming off tough losses last week. Bob, what do Big Rapids and Morley Stanwood have to do to get back on track here?
Really, I think Morley Stanwood has to get back to what they do best, and it's run the football. I think last week they got a little pass happy. They had some nice drives running the ball, and then all of a sudden decided to start throwing the ball, and a sack all of a sudden kind of got them, in the coach Larry Joe's words, out of phase, and they just got out rhythm. I think they just got to run the ball and make Big Rapids stop them. On the flip side, I think Big Rapids, they just got to get back to the fundamentals. Blocking, tackling, the simple things, and get back to those things. And if they can do that, I think they can, at least stay in the game. I don't know if they're going to win. I'm picking Morley Stanwood.
Brandon, who do you got in this one?
I've got Morley Stanwood because I feel that they have something to prove. They went into Reed City, right?
Yep.
They went into Reed City, and Reed City brought it to them, and now Morley Stanwood has to reclaim their CSAA power.
Okay. I agree. I think Morley Stanwood's going to be hungry, and I picked them as well. Another huge game this week on the road is Reed City, coming off a huge win over Morley Stanwood. They've got Central Montcalm. This game could be for the CSAA title on the line. Bob, can you give us a little bit of a rundown on this game and what you expect from a Central Montcalm that we really haven't seen a lot of?
Central Montcalm opened the season with 3 straight shutouts with Lakeview, Big Rapids, and Hesperia. They gave up their first points last week. I saw them against Big Rapids. They're big up front, and they're fairly quick, and I think that can give Reed City a little bit of problems. Reed City isn't particularly big up front, but what Reed City does well is they get a lot of guys at the point of attack offensively, block it well, and they get those big plays. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out Friday night.
Do you think that coming off a huge emotional win like this for Reed City, it's going to be tough for them to get up for 2 big games like that in a row?
Yes. And I talked to Coach Price about that, and he said if he had the potion, he wouldn't be coaching football. He'd be traveling the country, making money, delivering speeches on how to guard against it. I'm picking Central Montcalm for that reason alone. And Central Montcalm is at home, and they're a good team. But I think there's going to just be too big of a letdown.
And Brandon, who you got in that one?
I'm going to pick Reed City. I think last week was an emotional game for the Coyotes, and I think it's going to carry over. I think Central Montcalm is really good, but I think the Coyotes going to really solidify their spot in the CSA.
I got this one as a toss-up. I'm picking Central Montcalm because they're at home. I think that's going to be a very close game, though. Next up, Chippewa Hills at Lakeview. Chippewa Hills coming off a couple of impressive wins in a row. Lakeview, another team that's struggling. Brandon, you got a chance to see Chippewa Hills last week. What are they doing well that they're kind of on a roll at this point?
They were running, they were passing, they had great defense. Really, it was against White Cloud, and they were undermanned, but Chip Hills really executed both sides of the ball. They played great defense. They ran it right down White Cloud's throat. So I expect Chip Hills to do it again. I expect the defense to be big again, and Chip Hills is going to win.
Bob, any chance of a letdown because Chip Hills does have a couple of big games coming up on the schedule after Lakeview?
I don't think it matters. I just think they're better than Lakeview. They could, I don't want to say overlook, but I think, even if they did overlook, I still think they're better than Lakeview, and they're going to win this regardless.
Big game in Osceola County, Pine River at Everett. Everett lost this game last year. You got to be thinking that there's a little bit of revenge on their minds against Pine River. Give us an idea of what Everett is looking at against Pine River.
I think Everett's success this year, and it has been all year, is just running the football. They got 3 guys that ran over 300 yards already this year, and 1,050 total. That's impressive 4 games into the year. I think, if Pine River can stop the run, they have a chance at winning. If they can't stop the run, it's going to be a long day for the Bucks.
Brandon, any chance that Pine River pulls off the upset again?
I don't think so. Not going into Everett. Got a good crowd up there, and I think Everett, like you said, is going to be very powerful, and Pine River's not really going to be able to stop them.
I've got Everett in this one as well. Concluding our coverage for this week, the top cat trophy on the league. Everybody is going to be talking about this game. Baldwin at Crossroads. Two teams that, in the 4 years of this rivalry, the series is tied at 2, but they've been lopsided games every year. Bob, what do you expect in this one? Is Baldwin the team to beat in this one?
I would say yes, but I think this could be a very entertaining game. Both defenses are allowing 50 points a game. If you don't count the Baldwin forfeit, 0, you take that out of the equation, and they're giving up like 53 points a game. Crossroads is giving up 50 points a game. I expect a lot of points. It should be entertaining.
Or you could have an exact defensive struggle where it ends up being 6-8 or whatever. This is a toss-up, really.
Really?
Really. It's a toss-up. I'll go with Baldwin because I think they played Onekma last week, and they're going to be coming in and they'll get their third Top Cat trophy.
I have Baldwin in this one also. I think they're going to score more points. That's the bottom line. That's it for this week's high school coverage. Make sure to check out www.bigrapidsnews.com for coverage of that in the weekend edition of the Pioneer.